Here at Gawler. Welcome along everyone to the Gawler Harness Racing Club. The last trial meeting in preparation for our big race meeting, Family and Heritage Day, here next week, and it should be a fantastic day of racing and entertainment. Just two changes for you this morning so far in this morning's trials. Trial 2, you can scratch number 5, Amity's Girl. So left with a field of 6 in trial 2. And in trial 4, you can scratch number 7, Showman Charlie. Trial 2, number 5, Amity's Girl. And trial 4, number 7, Showman Charlie. That's the two changes for this morning's trials at Gawler. We shouldn't be too far away from the start here for trial number 1. And runners are approaching the start now for trial number 1. The trial is staying, the only standing start of the morning. 6 trials here this morning. Trial 2 is a 3-year-old CO pace. Trial 3 will have the 2-year-olds going around. Trial 4, 3-year-old CO. Trial 5 is a C2, C3 pace. And trial 6 is a CO, C1 pace. So runners are approaching the start now. We're circling around here. Now off the front, looks like we're going to have Icon Trot. Off the second, off the second mark, we're going to have a grey horse Bulk Hussy. And number 3, Trump's Golden Boy, driven there by Ryan Rahoric for Matt Maguire. Scott Pascoe training a driver for Bulk Hussy, and Greg Norman a trainer for Icon Trot, driven by Jock Dunlop off the front there. We're getting set here. Back to just swinging around. First of 6 trials this morning at Gawler. A big welcome to all of our viewers watching on YouTube, on the Harness Racing SA YouTube site. Set. And tapes do fly back. There's a problem there with Trump's Golden Boy. He's been swung around now by the Clark of a course, but has missed about 35 metres at the start. It was a very ordinary start here. Beginning way well off the front marker was Icon Trot, excelling in front by about 12 metres as they come to the post on the first occasion. Now, beginning well, the best out of all 3 was Bulk Hussy. It's in a good position early and is only about 6 metres behind the leader in the early going, and making up ground from the tail end of the field after making that small mistake at the start was Trump's Golden Boy. It's about 14 metres away from the next horse. So the small field of 3 will go into the back straight for the first occasion. This is how they'll be for a while. Trump's Golden Boy is now closing a gap between him and the next horse, and there's only about 15 metres covering them now as they go down the back straight on the first occasion, with a mile to travel. Icon Trot is out in front by about 8 metres on Bulk Hussy, who's racing second, and then another 7 metre gap away to Trump's Golden Boy at the tail end of the field as they duck behind the trees on the first occasion. It is Icon Trot out in front by about 8 metres now, just going a bit roughly there for a few strides of Bulk Hussy, but it's trotting nicely again now, and then another 6 metres away to Trump's Golden Boy at the tail end of the field. So they swing into the front straight now with 1,200 metres to travel, and it is Icon Trot out in front by 7 metres on Bulk Hussy, who's second, and Trump's Golden Boy at the tail end of the field. The tempo is slow as they swing into the front straight. They'll get the siren shortly, and it's Icon Trot. He's still doing it nicely now for Jock Dunlop. He's out in front by about 7 metres. Racing second is Bulk Hussy, and still at the tail end of the field is Trump's Golden Boy. They swing out of the front straight now, and Icon Trot's run up the track a little bit there. It's gone to the outside, which allows Bulk Hussy moving up on the inside. Those two are side by side now as they pass the 800 metre mark, and then we have a 7 metre gap away to Trump's Golden Boy. So Icon Trot has run up the track and pulled to the outside. On the inside is Bulk Hussy, and then we have a 7 metre gap away to Trump's Golden Boy. Ryan just tickles him up a little bit there. It's going to peel to the outside anytime now. It is Bulk Hussy still out in front on the outside, I should say, as Icon Trot. It's half a length over on Bulk Hussy. Bulk Hussy kicks back now on the inside and goes back to the lead for Scott Pascoe. Up on the outside is Icon Trot, and then we have a 7 metre gap away to Trump's Golden Boy. They pass the 400 and come off the back. It's neck and neck between the two leaguers. Bulk Hussy the grey up on the inside, and up on the outside we have Icon Trot, and peeling around 3 wide is Trump's Golden Boy. We should have 3 across the track very shortly. Top of the front straight. It's Bulk Hussy out in front. In between horses is Icon Trot, and peeling to the outside now is Trump's Golden Boy. These 3 approaching the line fastly here. It's Bulk Hussy out in front, up on the inside. Up on the outside, Trump's Golden Boy is appearing a danger to Gawler, but Bulk Hussy will hold on and take out the first trial. Second, Trump's Golden Boy about 4 metres away, and then another 7 metre gap away to Icon Trot at the tail end of the field. Now your results after trial 1, Controller's Stand, your winner number 2, Bold Hussey, driven by Scott Pascoe, and training and driven by Scott Pascoe in fact. Second number 3, Trump's Golden Boy, driven by Ryan Roharic, and third was number 1, Icon Trot, driven by Jock Dunlop. Last mile in 26.6 for your last mile. At first half in 65.3 for your first half. Last half was in 61.3 for your last half, and your final quarter in 31.5 for that final quarter. So that's your times and results after trial number 1. Trial 2 is a 3-year-old CO pace over 2,070 metres, a mobile style event. A field of 6 to go around here. Number 1, Tons of Tenacity, driven by Michael A. Smith. Number 2, Miss Enchanted, driven by Scott Ewing. Number 3, Chevrolet, driven by Scott Pascoe. Number 4, Tell Me Why, driven by Ryan Roharic. Number 6, Dusky Assassin, driven by Ken Rogers. And off the second row, we have number 7, Party with Mac, driven by David Smith. And you can scratch number 5, Amity's Girl. Number 5, Amity's Girl is out of this trial. Mobile moves into position now here for trial number 2, the 3-year-old CO pace over 2,070 metres. It's a mobile start. Now, we do have another additional change here. We now on the wearing a number 5 saddlecloth is I'm Telling Ya, now driven by Gawler. So you can scratch number 5 Amity's Girl, and a new runner in the number 5 saddlecloth is I'm Telling Ya. It'll be driven by Gawler. Bat score up here. Tons of tenacity from the inside. Misenchanted from gate 2. Chevrolet, Tell Me Why, I'm Telling Ya. Dusky Assassin off the second row, Party with Mac. All 5 runners, all 5 of the 6 runners are in the parade green for trial number 3. The 2-year-olds in the next trial. All those horses are yet to have a race start. So, Paul Cavallaro also listed on his Culture King, making his return to harness racing and driving in a sulky in the next trial. So, scoring up. All seem to be scoring up well here. I'm Telling You will just be in for the barrier off gate 5. That's the additional runner here driven by Gawler. Set. Ready. Green light on, we're away in racing. Now coming off the gate well from on the outside was Dusky Assassin. Also beginning well in the centre was Chevrolet. Chevrolet's going to try and go across Tons of Tenacity, who's kicking up on the inside. But Chevrolet will get up and get the full length over here on Tons of Tenacity, who will sit behind the leader. Moving up around the outside of the leader is Dusky Assassin. 3 back along the inside is Party with Mac. 1 out, 1 back there is Tell Me Why. 3 back along the inside is Misenchanted. And up on the outside, moving around them now, is I'm Telling You, the additional runner. Down the back straight they go with a mile to travel here. And out in front it is Chevrolet. Moving up around the outside the leader is a Dusky Assassin, also resuming from a spell like Chevrolet. Sitting behind the leader as they duck behind the trees there is Tons of Tenacity. Then in turn behind those up on the outside, 1 out, 1 back is Tell Me Why. 3 back along the inside is Party with Mac. And then in turn behind those we have Misenchanted. And looking like he's pulled up out of the trial is I'm Telling You. So they swing into the front straight now. We're left with the 7 runners. And out in front is Chevrolet. Up on the outside the leader is Dusky Assassin. Sitting behind the leader is Tons of Tenacity. Then in turn behind those we have Tell Me Why racing in 4th placing. 3 back along the inside is Party with Mac. And then at the tail end of the field is Misenchanted. And pulling up out of the trial there was I'm Telling You. A pass the post, a new refurbished finish post here at the Gawler Harness Racing Club. We're looking in action for next Sunday. It's Chevrolet out in front up on the inside for Scott Pascoe. He took out the first trial with his trotter, Bold Hussy. Up on the outside is Dusky Assassin. Sitting behind the leader is Tons of Tenacity. Then in turn behind those, 3 back along the inside is Party with Mac. Racing 4th up on the 5th on the up on the outside, I should say, is Tell Me Why. And then a 7-metre gap away at the tail end of the field to Misenchanted. Down the back straight they go. 600 metres to travel and the speed is all of a sudden on. Moving up around the outside is Tell Me Why for Ryan Rahoric. It takes the lead off Chevrolet. Then in turn behind those in third we have Tons of Tenacity who's peeled off the inside. 3 back along the inside still is Party with Mac. Falling back through the field there was Dusky Assassin and a 7 or 8 metre gap away to Misenchanted at the tail end of the field. Tell Me Why has a 7 metre lead on him. Chevrolet is kicking back up on the inside. 7 metres away in third is Tons of Tenacity. Then in turn we have Party with Mac and Dusky Assassin and then a 10 metre gap away to Misenchanted. Top of the front straight. And it's Chevrolet up on the outside challenging the leader here. Tell Me Why is up on the inside, but Chevrolet has managed to kick back here. The early leader's gone to the lead again. Kicking back on the inside is Tell Me Why. They hit the post. It will be close. Chevrolet just on the outside by a head from Tell Me Why. Then in turn in third, about 7 metres away was Tons of Tenacity. Had a gallant run. Then we had Party with Mac. A 15 metre gap away to Dusky Assassin. Then we had Misenchanted, and pulling up out of the trial after about 600 metres was I'm Telling Ya. 431 are your numbers after trial number 2. 431, number 4, Tell Me Why, your winner, driven. Sorry, I should say 341. I should say number 3, Chevrolet was your winner, driven and trained by Scott Pascoe. Second, number 4, Tell Me Why, driven by Ryan Horrick, and third was number 1, Tons of Tenacity, driven by Michael A. Smith. 23.7 was your last mile, 23.7, 64.5 for your first half, 64.5, 59.2 for your last half, 59.2, and that final quarter was in 30.6 for that final quarter. Trial 3 is a 2-year-old pace, over 2,070 metres. It's a mobile start. Number 1, Woody Nightshade, driven by Lisa Ryan. Number 2, Marley's Party, driven by Tiffany Lee. Number 3, Chameleon, driven by Dean Garagi. Number 4, Culture King, driven by Paul Cavallaro. Number 5, Above Average, driven by Jagan Brewing. And number 6, Regal Scribe, driven by Joshua Holberton. That's the field to go around in the 2-year-old pace for third trial this morning here at Gawler. The runners coming onto the track now. Runners are scoring up here for trial number 3. A 2-year-old Pace, Woody Nightshade from the inside, Marty's Parley from gate 2, Chameleon from gate 3, Culture King from gate 4, above average from gate 5, and along the wide gate, gate 6 is Regal Scribe. We're getting set here. 2,070 metres a trip here, mobile start. These are the 2-year-olds. Green light on, we're away in racing. Showing good pace from gate 3 is Chameleon. It will go across Woogie Nightshade. Also showing good pace from gate 4 is the Paul Catalaro horse Culture King. It will sit outside Gawler. About 7 metres away, moving to take a sit behind Gawler is Woogie Nightshade. Then in turn behind those, losing a bit of ground there, was above average. It's going to go and take a sit about 5 back along the inside as the runners move into single file. In front of it is Marley's Party. And then we go back to the tail end of the field with Regal Scribe. They head down the back. They head down the back straight now, and taking up the lead now is Culture King. It's out in front by a full sulky's length on Chameleon racing second, and then another full sulky's length away to Woogie Nightshade in third, racing midfield. Then in turn behind those, we have a Tiffany Lee runner in Marty's Party, a small gap away to above average in second to last placing, and then a 7-metre gap away to Regal Scribe at the tail end of the field. They head off the back now, and it's Culture King out in front. Racing second is Chameleon. Then in turn behind those, we have Woogie Nightshade. A small gap away to Marty's Party in fourth. Peeling up around the outside now with about 1,200 metres to travel is Regal Scribe, and moving back to the tail end of the field is above average. Top of the front straight, 1,200 metres to travel here, and the tempo is slow early for the 2-year-olds. It's Culture King getting eased up out in front. It's out in front by about 6 metres on the next horse. Chameleon is racing second. Moving up around the outside now, moving into third placing is Regal Scribe. Following it through up on the outside, it's above average. Then in turn behind those, we have Woogie Nightshade, who's now 3 back on the inside. And at the tail end of the field, seeing them all is Marty's Party. They swing out of the front straight, 800 metres to travel, and it is Culture King out in front. Sitting behind the leader is Chameleon. Racing up on the outside, 1 out 1 back is Regal Scribe. Then in turn we have Woogie Nightshade. Then in turn behind those, racing fifth is above average, and a small gap away to Marty's Party at the tail end of the field. 600 metres to travel, and the leader's still doing it nicely now, Culture King. The tempo does start to lift though, putting a pressure on the leader up on the outside is Regal Scribe. Sitting behind the leader now, racing at a decent tempo is Chameleon. Then in turn behind those, we have above average, a small gap away to Woogie Nightshade, and a back pair on the outside is Marty's Party, who's starting to lift the tempo as well and peel around the outside. So the leader is tackled by Regal Scribe. It gets 2 lengths over on Culture King. Peeling up around the outside now is above average. There's 3 across the track. In between runners is Regal Scribe. Up on the inside, Culture King, and above average. Top of the front straight. He's free heading to the line now. Out in front, it is above average up on the outside. Kicking back up on the inside is Regal Scribe. They hit the post. Regal Scribe will just get up from above average in second. Then in turn behind those, we had Culture King. 11-metre gap away to Marley's Party. Then we had Woogie Nightshade, and then another 22 metres away to Chameleon at the tail end of the field. Okay, we have your times here after trial number 3, 654. 654 are your results. So number 6, your winner Regal Scribe, driven there by Joshua Holberton and trained by Lance Holberton. Second, number 5, Above Average, driven by Jagan Brewing. And third, number 4, Culture King, driven by Paul Cavallaro. 210.6 for your last mile, 210.6, 70.8 for your first half, 70.8, 59.8 for your last half, 59.8, and 28.5 for that final quarter, 28.5. They're your times and results after trial 3 to 2-year-olds. Now, we're going to have a quick intermission here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to grate the track. While we are grading a track, it should only take about 10 minutes or so. There's plenty of refreshments and stuff to eat inside the Gawler Harness Racing Club room. We've got egg and bacon sandwiches, homemade sausage rolls and pies, cold and hot drinks. So plenty of stuff to get here before we get the fourth trial up and running. In trial number 4, it's a 3-year-old CO pace over 2,070 metres of mobile start. We have a 1 scratching here. You can take out number 7, Showman Charlie. Number 7, Showman Charlie is out. It does leave us with a field of 7, 6 off the front row and 1 off the second line. Number 1, Our Front Page, driven by Wayne Hill. Number 2, Bobby's Delight, driven by Jeremy Sill. Number 3, Wait Pinga Poppy, driven by Ryan Rohorick. Number 4, Our Mate Mick, driven by Simon Kittle. Number 5, Rock and Roll Baby Gatrolla, driven by Jock Dunlop. Number 6, Dashing Through the Fire, driven by Michael A. Smith. And off the second row, we have number 8, Little Growl, driven by Lisa Ryan. That's trial number 4 here at Gawler this morning. A runner should be on the track shortly. Right, circling here for trial number 4 this morning at Gawler. 2,070 metres, a Trip Hero Mobile start. Our front page on the inside. Bobby's Delight from gate 2, Wait Pinga Poppy from gate 3, our mate Mick from gate 4, Rock and Roll Baby Gatroller from gate 5. Gate 6, we have Dashing Through the Fire, and off the second row, we have a Little Growl. You can scratch number 7, Showman Charlie. Mobile Boo's into position now, about to score up. 4th of 6 trials this morning here at Gawler. Big race meeting here next week. Gawler Family and Heritage Day. Should be a fantastic day of racing next Sunday. Scoring up. Racing returns to the Kapunda Harness Racing Club tomorrow with an 8-race program. Port Pirie Harness Racing Club on Friday night. We have the Mount Gambier Gold Cup on Saturday night at Mount Gambier Harness Racing Club again next Sunday. Metropolitan Racing here at Gawler. Getting set. Ready. Our front page on the inside for Wang Hill. Green light on, we're away and racing. Just skipping about a bit there at the start was our mate Mick. Pushed a few horses out wide. Now getting across here was Wait Pinga Popping. We'll go to the league early. Taking a sip behind the leaguer is our front page. Then in turn behind those we had Bobby's Delight, and then going back along the inside is Little Growl. Now we have a gap away to the others who are a little bit interfered with there at the start. We have Dashing Through the Fire. In between them we had our mate Mick, and at the tail end of the field about 8 metres away we have the Trotter Rock and Roll Baby. So they eventually move into single file now, and out in front doing it nicely is Wait Pinga Poppy by a full sulky's length on our front page in second. And we have a small gap away of about 7 metres to Little Growl. Then in turn behind those we have Bobby's Delight tucked away on the inside in fourth. Moving up around the outside now we have Dashing Through the Fire. Going roughly around that bend now was our mate Mick, and pulling through up on the inside is Rock and Roll Baby. 1,200 metres to travel now, go swinging to the front straight, and out in front, it's Wait Pinga Poppy. Moving up around the outside, the leader now is Dashing Through the Fire. Taking a sip behind the leader is our front page. They come out as head on now. Then in turn behind those, three back along the inside, Little Growl. Running up the track there and going really roughly is our mate Mick. Then in turn we have Rock and Roll Baby, and at the tail end of the field is Bobby's Delight. So 1 lap to travel here, and it's Wait Pinga Poppy out in front up on the inside. Outside the leader is Dashing Through the Fire. Taking a sip behind the leader is our front page. Then we have a gap away to Little Growl in fourth, heading the others from the Trotter up on the outside, Rock and Roll Baby. Then a 6 metre gap away to Bobby's Delight. And then after pacing roughly for a majority of control, about 12 metres away is our mate Mick. 600 metres to travel, and it's Wait Pinga Poppy out in front. Getting challenged up on the outside, about 3.5 metres away is Dashing Through the Fire. Still sitting behind the leader, waiting to pounce is our front page. Then in turn behind those we have Dashing Through the Fire, Little Growl up on the inside, still 3 back along the inside. Last of the main bunch is Bobby's Delight, and then a 35 metre gap away to our mate Mick. 250 metres to travel, and the leader's still doing it nicely. Wait Pinga Poppy out in front. Emerging there up on the outside is our front page. Falling back there was Dashing Through the Fire, and then a gap away to Rock and Roll Baby. Top of the front straight is between two here. It's Wait Pinga Poppy out in front. Up on the outside is our front page. Our front page goes to the lead now over Wait Pinga Poppy, and our front page will come to the post and take out the fourth trial. Second Wait Pinga Poppy. Then we had a 22 metre gap away to Rock and Roll Baby, I should say, who got up for third. Then we had Bobby's Delight, a 7 metres away to Little Growl, another 8 metres away to Dashing Through the Fire, and then another 45 to our mate Mick at the tail end of the field. Have the times here and results after trial number 4, your winner number 1, Our Front Page, driven there by Wayne Hill and trained by Heather Stevens. Second was number 3, Wayne Pika Poppy, driven by Ryan Roharic. Third, number 5, Rock and Roll Baby, driven by Jock Dunlop. And fourth was number 2, Bobby's Delight, driven by Jeremy Sill. 2-4 for your last mile, 2 minutes 4, 65.1 for your first half, 65.1, 58.9 for your last half, 58.9, and 29 seconds for your final quarter, 29 seconds for that final quarter. Trial 5 is a C2, C3 pace, a small field of 4 to go around here. Number 1, A Mighty Flying Horse, driven by Danielle Hill. Number 2, Miss Soapbox, driven by Paul Tonkin. Number 3, A Ramby Star, driven by Scott Ewing. And number 4, Swift Approval, driven by Wayne Hill. That's a field of 4 to go around here in trial number 5 for C2, C3 pace. Mobile moves into position now here for trial number 5, the C2 C3 pace over 2,070 metres. A mobile start. Field of 4 to go around. A Mighty Flying Horse on the inside, Miss Soapbox, Sarambi Star, and Swift Approval. About to score up here. Again, a very good morning to all of our viewers watching on YouTube. Streaming the trials live. Just another quick reminder about a big race meeting here next week, Gawler Family and Heritage Day. Should be a fantastic day of racing, off-course entertainment as well. They bring a family down, kids. Should be a fantastic day. Scoring up. Second to last trial this morning here at Gawler. Field of 4 to go around. One more to come after this. Just a little bit back there is Miss Soapbox. And back on the gate there. Have a Mighty Flying Horse on the inside, a Ramby Star, Swift Approval, and Miss Soapbox, head down. Looks very interesting start from the second row here, so that looks like what we'll do. Green light on, we're away in racing. Arambi Star began well from the centre, also showing good gate speed from the inside. Was a Mighty Flying Horse, and a Mighty Flying Horse will get across here. Coming down the outside now is Swift Approval, go up and eyeball the leader in the early going. Mighty Flying Horse is kicking back up on the inside, but Swift Approval looks very keen to get across here. It's 3.5 lengths over. It just went a little bit roughly there as it tried to overtake a Mighty Flying Horse, but a Mighty Flying Horse will kick up and go to the lead here. Racing midfield in second is a Ramby Star, and then an 8 metre gap away to Miss Soapbox, and Swift Approval looks poised to pull up midway down the back straight. A mile to travel, and it's a Mighty Flying Horse out in front by a full sulky's length. On a Ramby Star in second, another full sulky's length away to Miss Soapbox. It was a little bit back on the gate early. It's back pacing now, head down, and pulling up out of the trial by the look of it is Swift Approval for Wayne Hill. Off the back, and it's a Mighty Flying Horse out in front. Got the lead quite comfortably from the pole. It's out in front by 7 metres on a Ramby Star, who's racing second, and then a 7 metre gap away to Miss Soapbox. Last of the main bunch, and pulling up midway down the back straight was Swift Approval. 1,200 metres to travel here, and it's a Mighty Flying Horse out in front for Danielle Hill. It's by a full sulky's length from a Ramby Star for Scott Ewing, who's racing second, and then another full sulky's length away to Miss Soapbox, who's pacing a little bit better now and is in a nice position at the tail end of the field. Past the post, 1 lap to travel. They just got the siren, and it's a Mighty Flying Horse still out in front, doing it nicely for Danielle Hill. Racing second is a Ramby Star, and then third is Miss Soapbox. No one's making any moves yet, and the tempo is still pretty slow. 800 metres to travel here. A Mighty Flying Horse still out in front now. It extends its lead to about 7 metres. On a Ramby Star in second, and then a small gap away to Miss Soapbox at the tail end of the field. 600 metres out, and the Mighty Flying Horse, Danielle Hill says go now on the leader. It's out in front by about 9 metres. Tacking on very well was a Ramby Star, and not making a move yet at the back of the field is Miss Soapbox. There's still only about 15 metres covering them now as they bunch up again. It's a Mighty Flying Horse out in front. A Ramby Star is chasing hard with 400 metres to travel, and poised there at the tail end of the field is Miss Soapbox, and pulling up out of the trial earlier was Swift Approval. 260 metres to travel now. It's a Mighty Flying Horse out in front, top of the front straight, racing midfield in second, trying hard as a Ramby Star, and then we have a small gap away to Miss Soapbox at the tail end of the field. 100 metres to travel. The leader's holding out all challenges so far halfway down the running. It's a Mighty Flying Horse out in front, doing it nicely. It's out in front by about 11 metres here on a Ramby Star, who's trying hard in second, but a Mighty Flying Horse will win. Second, a Ramby Star. Third, Miss Soapbox, and pulling up out of the trial was Swift Approval. 1, 3, 2 are your numbers here after trial number 5. Your winner number 1, Amaya Flying Horse, driven by Danielle Hill. Second, number 3, Arambi Star, driven by Scott Ewing. And third, number 2, Miss Soapbox, driven by Paul Tonkin. 25.3 your last mile, 25.3. 64.8 for your first half, 64.8 your last half was rung in 60.5. And 30.4 for your final quarter, 30.4. That's your results and times after trial number 5. One more to go. The last one here today, Gawler, a field of 6 to go around here. COC 1 pace. Number 1, Armour Princess, driven by Joshua Holberton. Number 2, Live for Peace, driven by Ryan Rahoric. Number 3, Gamungi Pit, driven by Scott Ewan. Number 4, Santa Madre, driven by Danielle Hill. Number 5, Black and Tan, driven by Megan G. And number 6, Leopold Bloom, driven by Lisa Ryan. That's the field for trial 6, the lucky last this morning here at Gawler. Just a reminder about tomorrow's meeting at the Kapunda Harness Racing Club. Race 1 is scheduled to be underway at 12:59 p.m. And race 8 on the 8-race program is scheduled to be underway at 5:15 p.m. So that's racing tomorrow at Kapunda. Back at Port Pirie Friday night on Friday the 2nd of March. Mount Gambier Harness Racing Club for the Mount Gambier Pacing Cup on Saturday the 3rd of March. And we're back at Gawler for the first time in about 10 years. At the Gawler Harness Racing Club next Sunday with probably a 6-race program at this point in time. Fields will be available for the historic Gawler meeting online on Thursday around 1 o'clock lunchtime. So it'll be a big day of racing next Sunday here. Proudly supported by Harness Racing SA and Tony Piccolo, who invest so much into this fantastic harness racing club, who have probably had a rough run over the past 10 years with being forced to move from the complex at their old track, and now we're back here at this fantastic new facility, ready for a fantastic race meeting tomorrow. We're a very passionate committee putting a lot of work into making this happen. Mobile moves in position now for the last trial. The COC1 pace, 2,070 metres a trip here. Armour Princess for the inside, gate 1, Live for Peace for Money Pit, Santa Madre, the ex-Victorian horse, Black and Tan and Leopold Bloom from gate 6. About to score up. Trial number 6. Mobile rounds to bend now, about 150 away from dispatch here. COC1's here. All seem to be scoring up well. Santa Madre just back on the gate a little bit there, fulfilling its position now. About 50 away from dispatch here. The last trial. Set. Ready. Green light on, we're away and racing. Now pretty even line out there. Showing good pace from gate 4 was Santa Madre. And Santa Madre looks keen to get across here, and it will. It's out in front by 13 metres in the early going. It has a big gap on Armour Princess, is on the inside, racing second from the pole. Up on the outside and third placing is the Money Pit. Then in turn behind those, tucked back, free back along the inside is Live for Peace. Then in turn we have Black and Tan in second to last placing, and moving on the inside in the running line at the tail end of the field field is Leopold Bloom. Look at this leader go. It's out in front by about 26 metres in the early going. It's Santa Madre out in front. Armour Princess is second. Then we have a gap away to the others of about 8 metres to Black and Tan, who's moving up around the outside for Megan G. Then in turn we have Live for Peace. The Money Pit is in second to last placing, and up on the inside at the tail end of the field is Leopold Bloom. Now the leader hasn't decreased its lead here. It is Santa Madre out in front, still by about 25 odd metres on Armour Princess, who's second. Moving around the outside without covering Ferg is Black and Tang. Three back along the inside is Live for Peace. Then in turn up on the outside and second to last placing is the Money Pit. And at the tail end of the field on the inside is Leopold Bloom. They swing into the front straight with about 1,100 to travel here. And Santa Madre has been all fireworks from the word go here. It's still out in front by about 18 metres. On Black and Tang is in a comfortable position second. Up on the inside and third is Armour Princess. Three back along the inside is Live for Peace for Ryan Rohoric. Then in turn we have the Money Pit in second to last placing, and at the tail end of the field is Leopold Bloom. 800 metres to travel here. The league has decreased for this leader. As Santa Madre still out in front by about 19 metres now on Armour Princess, who's racing second. Still about 21 metres away from the leader. Up on the outside is Black and Tang. Three back along the inside still is Live for Peace for Ryan Rohoric. A small gap away to the others. We have the Money Pit up on the outside and tacking on a bit as well. There's Leopold Bloom. They approach the 400 metre mark, and this leader is still out ferociously by about 17 metres. It's Santa Madre out in front. Racing second is Armour Princess. Starting to fall back on the outside is Black and Tang. Up on the inside is Live for Peace, who now moves into third placing. Also making ground from the back of the pack is Leopold Bloom. And starting to fall back there was the Money Pit. Top of the front straight. It's still Santa Madre out in front. Chasing hard is Armour Princess in second. Then in turn we had Live for Peace and Black and Tang. Halfway down the running, it's still Santa Madre out in front. And what a performance this has been. A good showing here in the trial. Santa Madre will come to the post and win by about 13 metres on the line. Second, Armour Princess by a head just in front of Live for Peace. And then we had a 12 metre gap away to Leopold Bloom, another 15 away to Black and Tang, and 6 metres away at the tail end of the field was the Money Pit. And we have our results here after trial number 6, 4126. Number 4, your winner, Santa Madre, driven by Danielle Hill. Second was number 1, Armour Princess, driven by Joshua Holberton. For third, we had number 2, Live for Peace, driven by Ryan Rohoric. And for fourth was number 6, Leopold Bloom, driven by Lisa Ryan. 22.7 for your last mile, 22.7, 63.3 for the first half, 63.3, 59.4 for your last half, 59.4, and 30 seconds dead for that final quarter, 30 seconds dead. That completes harness racing and trials today here at the Gawler Harness Racing Club. Back racing at Kapunga tomorrow afternoon. Friday night we're at Port Pirie. Saturday night Mount Gambier. And don't forget, next Sunday, only a week away now, the big meeting here at the Gawler Harness Racing Club. For the first time in a decade, we have racing here at Gawler for Family and Heritage Day. So make sure you can be in attendance here at the Gawler Harness Racing Club for a big meeting of racing. Plenty of food and drink still available in the club room if you're feeling a bit peckish after the run around all the trials. Thank you for attending this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Drive home carefully and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.